The hardest part of navigating layoffs, especially when you tie your identity so closely to that company, is not only the loss of income, but that identity shift that follows shortly after. I was impacted by a layoff in 2023. And one minute I was on a call with my manager giving my update. I was actually kicking ass on this initiative that I was hired to do, focused primarily on data quality. Mind you, data quality had not been a focus for that company, and it is a massive company. So I actually was doing very good in that role, like performing. And I get off the call with my manager, and less than 30 minutes later, I receive this random invite with these random people, and I get on there, everybody looking all serious and stoic. Now we're talking about severances and all of the things, and I'm like, wait, I just got off the call with my manager. That experience changed my DNA. I tell people that all the time. Before that experience, I believed what most people believe. If you deliver results, if you stay consistent, if you work hard, you're essentially protected from layoffs. Well, I was wrong. It don't work like that. Companies make business decisions, and those business decisions are not always reflective of your value. Those business decisions are reflective of restructuring, and in my case, particularly, our entire team was offshore to Ireland. That's what those decisions are made on, not on the fact that you're performing. It's money. When your identity is tied too closely to a company and you're impacted by a layoff, you not only lose your job, but you lose a part of your identity as well. And I see people talking about different things that you can do after a layoff, but I also see where the part where the psychological impact is often switched or glossed over. I don't see conversations about the shame or embarrassment or the feelings of like self worth or doubt. I don't see that a lot. I don't see a lot of conversations about that. Sometimes the hardest part is not actually losing that paycheck. It's like trying to figure out what happened though. Especially when you start replaying all those conversations in hindsight. I don't know about in other industries, but in tech, there's a lot of weight on big tech. And what I see over and over again is that people tie their identities to their company names. Oftentimes, I see where people lead with where they work. Hi, I'm a software developer at Google or Microsoft, or I do this at Amazon or Netflix. They instantly lead with that company's name. I see it all the time. And without realizing it, they've made that company their personal identity. And one day, if that access is revoked and you no longer have access to emails or Teams or Slack, you've got to sit in it. My experience with my layoff forced me to think differently. I stopped seeking companies. Like I stopped saying, I want to work for this company or that company or this. I don't do that, especially with someone I've been in the space of tech for over 13 years. I'm kind of seasoned and I know what that looks like. And I stopped doing that in its entirety. And I started being intentional on my ownership, what I own, what I have contributed. Who am I? Because in my experience, dependency is very dangerous. Your skills, network, and credibility, all those things should belong to you. And you have to have an identity outside of that company's name and logo. Who are you? Because there's two different people. We have a set of people that are building their career, and we have a set of people who are following that prestige. Two different sets. And layoffs force you to start having those very difficult questions internally. Who are you outside of your company name? Who are you outside of that logo? What have you contributed to the greater landscape of the data ecosystem? I'm talking about data because that's my landscape. But what have you contributed to that? Whose lives have you directly impacted with your work? It forces you to sit and have those type of conversations. Do people know your work or do they know just where you work? Companies are intentional on building their brand every single day. Every single day. You should be doing the same thing. Your LinkedIn, your measurable proof of outcome, your networks, all of those things should belong to you. Companies make business decisions, and sometimes, unfortunately, your role can be a part of that business decision. Since I was impacted by that layoff, I stopped thinking of like companies in a linear sense. And I started thinking of like, who am I? What skills do I have? What have I contributed? And how can I continue to grow within the space of data? Because that's my goal. That's my bread and butter. So, bye, y'all. Hope this helps.